Salut! So I'm going to try to show you how to use Lightroom. I'm using a picture of my friend Matt that I took ages ago. So all you do is import photos and video, find everything, try to be organized because Lightroom has serious issues with things that aren't in folders. Import it, and then you go over to develop. And in develop, what you'll really be looking at is the basic settings. So here is the histogram. I don't know how much you know, I don't want to patronize you, but whites are on this side, blacks are on this side, shadows and highlights, and then this is like midtones. So first thing you're going to want to do, you see that this is really far to the left. You want it to be as equal as possible, not without it looking bad. So I'll boost this up here so there's more stuff in the midtones, but it seems a little bright, so probably pull up this exposure or the contrast just a little bit, bring down the highlights so they're falling more in here rather than in the whites, bring up the shadows so they're not, too far to the left. These little triangles up here, if you click them on and off, it will allow you to see where the blacks are so black that you lose information and the whites are so white that you lose information. So, like if I pull that up, that's too white, So undo that. Pull up the whites a little bit, pull down the blacks just a touch. I like having a little, like, too much black, but that's a personal preference. Clarity, you don't want to go crazy with it because, especially on pictures of people, but you might pull it up just a little bit. And saturation and vibrance, I usually leave alone unless I'm looking for a specific look. The only other thing you'll probably be looking at is transform. So transform allows you to fix a photo if it's like especially with architecture and stuff, if you need lines to be perfect. So usually it lets you do auto, which skews for the z-axis, but I usually just do level, so making sure that it looks like correctly flat. So that's transform. Those are the things you'll really be looking at. If you have a photo where, let's say, this is too dark, this is making the photo too dark, what you will be looking at is this little tool right here, lets you paint in the area and fix it itself. So you come down here and you can change the brush size and feather. So I usually feather it a little bit, but if you feather it too much, like that outside ring, it will make it look like have a weird glow around it. So let's say you think this is too dark, you would bring the exposure up probably just a little bit because you don't want it to be crazy. Adjust the brush size, and then you can just paint that area to make it lighter. You can bring the highlights up there, you can bring the shadows up, you can bring the whites up. Like, obviously this is crazy, but if you don't like it, you just click the little dude and delete it. So yeah, that's almost all the basics. The only other thing you might be looking at is this right here. This top left tool allows you to crop. So let's say I just wanted Matt in the picture, crop it in, press enter, ta-da. And yeah, that's it. And you can just go back to reset and you'll be good. So that's all you need to know. Just follow that histogram. Let it tell you what to do, and if the colors are off, like this one I think is a little too warm, I would just bring it down the blues just a little bit, but that's something I usually do by eye. If you have any other questions, just tell me, just follow the histogram. It is your friend. Bonne chance, je t'aime.